Welcome to the Super Memory for Schools program. My name is Win Lan, and I am glad to be with you in this lesson. In grade 8, you will study a new subject, that is chemistry. What is chemistry? What is the role of chemistry in everyday life? What do you need to do to study this subject better? We are going to answer these questions in today's lesson. Let's start with the first question. What is chemistry? To study this part, I would like to invite you to watch some experiments. Experiment 1. Put a few drops of copper sulfate, which is light blue, into a test tube. Then, slowly add some drops of colorless sodium hydroxide to this tube. This is the results of the experiment. In your opinion, is a new substance formed? As we can see, a new substance that is blue and insoluble has been formed in the tube. This is copper hydroxide. Let's watch the second experiment. Put some iron nails into a test tube that contains hydraulic acid. We can see many colorless and odorless gas bubbles given off around the nail surface. In your opinion, is a new substance formed? A new substance that is totally different from the original substances has been formed. This is a colorless and odorless gas. The two original substances are solid and liquid. Let's move to the third experiment. There are two beakers with a little sugar. Add dilute sulfuric acid to the first beaker. Add concentrated sulfuric acid to the second beaker. 15 seconds later, nothing happens in the first beaker. However, in the second beaker, the white sugar turns black. 60 seconds later, there is still nothing in the first beaker. However, in the second beaker, there is a black spongy mass of carbon expanding out of the container. Why is that? It is because dilute sulfuric acid does not react with sugar. However, concentrated sulfuric acid turns sugar into carbon. It is because concentrated sulfuric acid is a dehydrating agent that can absorb water from sugar and turn sugar into carbon. A part of formed carbon will be oxidized by concentrated sulfuric acid to produce sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. They escape as gases, which makes carbon expand out of the container. Chemical changes are around us, such as stalactites in caves or the rust of iron due to oxidation. Scientists found that sulfuric acid can react with metals, metal oxides. Based on these properties, dilute sulfuric acid is used to clean the surface of metals prior to plating. In your opinion, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the scientific study of chemicals, chemical changes, and their applications. Besides, chemistry is a very interesting and useful subject. The knowledge of chemistry can help us explain interesting things happening in nature, for example, the formation of stalactites in the cave, or how to turn a round-shaped egg into a square or gourd-shaped egg. Do you want to try this? You only need to soak an egg into vinegar. The acetic acid in vinegar reacts with the calcium carbonate in the eggshell and softens the eggshell. Put the egg in a square box with a volume exactly equal to its volume. Or use a string to tie and make the egg gourd-shaped. Then, boil the egg. As a result, we will have gourd-shaped and square-shaped eggs. We have just finished the first content of the lesson. I would like to invite you to study the second content of the lesson. What is the role of chemistry in everyday life? To understand this part, let's look at the following pictures. These are some pictures of the industrial applications of chemistry. These are some chemicals used in agriculture. Besides, chemicals are used in some essentials at home. Chemicals are also used in school supplies. Moreover, chemicals are used in medicines and supplements. According to you, what is the role of chemistry in our lives? Well, chemistry plays an important role in our lives. Therefore, we need to have knowledge about substances and how to use them in a reasonable and effective way. We have just learned the second content of the lesson. Let's move to the third content. What should you do to study chemistry better? When you study chemistry, you should focus on collecting and searching for knowledge. You can collect and search for knowledge from different sources. Some useful sources of information are school lessons, TV, books, newspapers, and natural phenomena. Besides, we need to know to process information. For instance, you know that concentrated sulfuric acid is a dangerous substance. It absorbs water and turns everything into carbon. Hence, you have to be careful when using this chemical. Besides, we should remember knowledge and practice it. In other words, to study chemistry better, you should apply your knowledge to your life and exams. What is the best method for studying chemistry? Chemistry is an empirical science. Thus, when we study chemistry, we need to observe experimental phenomena as well as natural ones in our lives. Besides, you have to be enthusiastic, passionate, and active. Practicing creative thinking and critical thinking is also important. You should memorize something, but do it in a smart way. Read more books and develop a consistent and effective reading habit. We have just finished all contents of today's lesson. Thank you for watching and studying today's lesson. Have an interesting and useful lesson. Goodbye and see you in the next Super Memory for Schools program.